Hello again, everyone. Another mailbag video here. This time I'm going to do it a little bit differently, trying to find the right format for this. I'm going to do this piecemeal. So as things come in, I'll record a segment for them. That way I don't have to wait to open my mail for like a month. So the first thing is... Can't show that on... Nope, can't show that either. Can't show that. Well, can't see that package. Oops. Might have to blur that a little bit. This is what's inside that package. You might be able to tell by its size maybe what it is. Let's get this open. Ah, there it is. The heart of the Nokia N91 smartphone. This is the Toshiba MK4001MTD 4GB hard drive using the MMC interface. This is the official smallest hard drive in the world. It displaces 0.85 inches across. It has one disk inside, which reads and writes 4 gigabytes of data just about. And I can't use it because I don't have that cell phone, but I figured I should definitely have this for the collection, and now I do. Now onto something I can use. That's an interesting dimpled pattern on the back here. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, but we're going to open it real quick and see. Seems pretty decently packaged. Wow, even more. Huh. More. Okay. Is there anything in here at all? Is it just packaging? Yes, there is. Samsung SHD-30560A. This is a Samsung Apollo. Lovely drive. Looks like it's all there. Yeah, Apollo 5. I'm not sure if this works, but we're going to find out. Sadly, I don't think this drive is working. Yeah, I think this drive is retrying. I don't think this is working. We'll try and do something about this maybe later. And here's one more. This is the next one. This is a larger package. Let's see what's in here. I'm pretty sure I know as well, but we'll find out. That's not good. Never leave a gap when you're packing this kind of stuff, because it can shift. Hopefully it's alright. Alright, and more bubble wrap at least. Let's see. No horrible noises yet. Let's unwrap it further. That's certainly an interesting packing choice. It is exactly what I expected. This is going to be no real great way to turn this gracefully. Nippon Electronic Industry RD4127 Model 3. Interesting drive. Don't know anything about it other than, model number on the side and its geometry. Interesting construction for sure. This is a stepper drive. No headlock of any kind. I don't know where track 0 is, so we better not mess with that too much. It is free at least, though. We'll try and spin it up here then. Makes kind of a bad noise when you rotate it. Hope that's not too bad. Bombs away. Nothing. Huh. Well, we'll have to look into that further in a future video. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, here is the next one. Interesting packing choice. I don't think I've ever seen orange. It's at an angle, too, which is unusual. It does say drive on it, though. You can see on the end of the box here, good TL340. Sadly, No, it is not a Tandon TL340, as much as I would love it to be. This is something else. And again, more signs will point to Tandon TL here. Tandon Corporation, yes. It's not, though. It's a Microscience. Boo! It's a 1060. I knew about that, but I really wanted the box, and I was hoping that maybe there was a manual with it. But there's not, and it doesn't even appear that there's a faceplate on the Microscience, or the cardboard that's on the bottom normally. What does this sticker say? Nope, nothing interesting. Boo! Well, we'll see if it works at least. At the very least, this drive was tested, supposedly. Let's find out. I'm probably going to turn my power switch on first, huh? They didn't test that at all, did they? At least that spun, but, you know, we'd like something that works. So, this is the next box that I have here. We'll have a look inside and maybe get some better luck here, huh? Pretty loose packaging overall, but it's better than none. Something 3.5 inch. I'm pretty sure that I know what these are, but it's a little bit hard to tell. This, I know what this is. It's a Tandon TM-252. And something else in a bracket. Let's get them out here and look. Sure enough, I've been doing this too long. Tandon TM-252 and an Imprimis of some description. Model number 942050051. Something like that. We'll have to see if these work in a minute. And here's another drive. This is another Fuji, which looks very similar to my bench drive, which is an FK30526, which looks like this. Pretty similar looking, except this chassis is definitely different. Maybe it'll act different too. 30926. Ooh. Massively different part number. Interestingly, my 305, if it'll focus. Come on, focus. Has no actuator lock at all. This one does. Weird. Alright, let's see if it works. Give it a shake. Nothing. We'll have to work on that later, I guess. Alright, here's that Imprimis. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We do have a jerk outside, apparently. Nothing at all. Let's try that Tandon. Of course, getting the Tandon out of its bracket proved fruitless because that screw is horrible. I hate flathead screws, especially when they're made out of pot metal. Interestingly, this drive seems to have a black faceplate that got spray painted white or something. I don't know what's going on there. We'll plug it in and see what it does anyways. Hey, it spins. I don't know if it initialized or not. I moved the stepper a little bit so it was out of the way. Sorry, so it would have to initialize. This drive has a head crash, but it does initialize. Just like one of my other TM-252s. I think most of them have pretty much all crashed. Oh well. If I could get it out, I would be happy to pull the cover off. I'll give it one more try, but I don't think we're going to get a cover off on this video. That really sucked getting that thing out of its bracket, but now I can show you these drives, along with a couple others I can think of. For example, let's see here, PTI PT200 and 300 series, the WD9000 series, several Tandon drives, the Disktron D514, and actually the rest of the D500 series, the Atari C500, I think the Atari 3000 series is held together like this as well, but they all have these clips. I've taken one off to show you a little bit better. They are triangular in shape, and you can see that they are a little bit, focus, they're a little bit acute angle, and they have these little hooks on the end of them. When you're putting them back on, you hook them on one side and push down. That's how they click together. And you just put a screwdriver under them, you lift up on one side. Hard to do one-handed, but you pick them up on one side, and they pop right off. You will have to cut one of these three stickers. This one does not matter. This one here in the back you can leave, because this is the longest surface. It's the hardest to pry up. I always start in this corner, work left, then work right, and then the lid comes up pretty easy, and that sticker stays generally intact pretty good. But I already got a glimpse inside, and yes sir, horrible head crash. What a shocker. It looks like it's only on that one surface, though, although it is a pretty devastating head crash all the way around. Good lord. Well, why don't we spin it up and see what it does? Got the lid propped up here a little bit. Nice and stable, right? Yeah. Interestingly, this drive seems to work just fine other than that. Let's try something else. Got the bench machine booted here. Something that I find is always an issue with these drives, yep, this one's going to need it too, is that the edge connectors are dirty on one side and don't make a very good contact. So let me clean those real quick and we'll see if this drive will even move. Alright, I've got my favorite testing program ready. Oops, accidentally hit the button. Doesn't matter. It won't load until the drive is spinning. That's initialized. Nope, not responding to command. Let me check the jumper settings. Should have checked that first, huh? It's set up for drive select 2. Alright, this is getting out of hand, so one more try. Yep, horrible noise. And it responds to commands, so we're going to go F2 for seek test. Drive number 1, run continuously, and start. And sure enough, it acts like nothing's wrong. That needs a little bit of oil, but yeah. So the drive can't tell that anything's wrong. That's the beauty of steppers. Look at that. Massive ring in the top head. It'll only get bigger as I run this test, but yeah, it can't tell the difference. I went ahead and put some oil in it. I didn't stop it, of course. You can actually see, kind of in the camera, how the heads bounce as they come over that crash because it's got such a deep groove in it. The top head bounces off the slider, and it misses that one section as it's moving. Very interesting. Well, at least we got one drive that was spinning and seeking out of this. On to the next one, I guess. Alright, here's the next one in the pile, and it did not come from Newegg, I'll tell you that right now. Interesting packaging, but it appears to have survived. And if you can see through that plastic, you might be able to tell already what this most likely is. Look at that, he even left a nice thank you note for us. But this is a Seagate ST-157R. This is particularly MLC1. This one has its faceplate, which is nice. This is the RLL version of the Seagate ST-157, kinda, sorta. It is the same chassis and mechanism, I believe, but I'm pretty sure the geometry is different. Let's see if this one works. I think it has stiction. Let me shake it around a bit. I can hear it start trying to spin, but not much more. I guess I'll have to mess with this one later as well. Alright, I'm almost certain what this is, and I'm really excited to see these drives. Somewhere under these packing peanuts, I think, is 3 drives of great interest. Getting closer. I must say, I'm really liking how these were packed. Supposedly, all 3 drives here were working when they got sent out, and I'm pretty confident that they will still work after shipping, at least. Inside, there were 3 drives. A Mini Scribe 8450, a Rodyme RO252, sorry, 352, same thing, and a Samsung SHD 2040N, which is, I believe, Samsung's first drive. One of the first, because it's still motor actuated. We'll see if they work. Not only was he kind enough to park the drive, but it's got an LED on it as well, so let's see if it works. It appears so. Will it auto park? I don't know if it's set up for that right now. Bearings sound beautiful. I'm guessing it will not auto park. Sadly, we're going to have to shut it down right in this position, but do my usual Mini Scribe trick of parking it after the fact, which is not great for it, but you know, it's fine. Well, that drive sounds great. Let's move on to our Rodyme. Beautiful shape as well. This one has the access LED, but not the power LED. Sounds like it works to me, and it sounds like it was parked as well. Beautiful. Bearings are amazing in this drive as well. This drive also has its LED, and I cannot wait because I think this may be the first recording of this drive on YouTube. Very interesting sound. Not what I expected at all. Usually they just do a, slow seek to 0. It's auto parking. Alright. I did not expect that either. Again, bearings sound beautiful. Drive sounds like it's working. I'll have to test them on the computer later, but man, this was a good buy. I got these 3 drives for $100, and I think I may have gotten a steal on it. I would not hesitate to buy from that guy again. Wow. What a great deal. Alright, here's the next one. It is not from Amazon Prime, obviously. This isn't the normal type of thing I collect, but this is very interesting, I think. Maybe you can see it already through the plastic wrap. So sadly, because it's scuzzy, I can't do anything with this today. I'm waiting on my adapter to show up still. But this is some kind of Seagate Barracuda with a factory original acrylic lid on it. It's very strange. Never seen anything like this. It turned up on eBay. Hello. And, I had to have it because he let it go for cheap. I believe that this would have been either a factory demonstration model or some kind of prize for an employee who worked on it. I'm not sure, but it's pretty dang cool. So this box says Dell all over it, but it's not from Dell. I do know what this is, I'm pretty sure, because it had to clear customs. And I've been waiting on this for at least a month, so let's get to open it and see. Hopefully it survived shipping at least a little bit. It looks like it's pretty loose in there. Phase 2 begins. That's interesting. And this isn't like a random bag, or it might be, but it's actually like sealed shut, which is interesting. Never seen that before. There it is, and you know what? I didn't realize it had a faceplate. So this is an NEC D5146H. This is the 4-platter, 40 megabyte optical servo version of a D5126, or just the 4-platter version of a D5126H. So it probably has similar performance, similar sound, but there's not too many of these out there because they're the more expensive 4-platter drive, and I'd love to have one for the collection, and now I do. Supposedly, though, this drive doesn't work, so we'll find out what it does. Nothing. It clicks on power off, but nothing on power on. We'll have to investigate that further. And because of the physical size of this, I know exactly what this is. So most hard cards don't use interesting disk drives. They use like a Miniscribe 8425 or something. Something boring that's really common. But this one I found, I've actually seen 3 of these for sale, and they all had the same drive. So I think Mountain Drive cards always had these. You can't see it through the package, but what you can see is that is an NEC D3146. So that's an unusual drive to stick on a card. I didn't think that very many of those made it over here, but it seems like they all made it on these control cards. So let's open this up and see the condition. And sadly, yes, it is 20 megabytes. I wish it was a 3116, which is the 10 meg version with the single platter, but not quite that lucky. Interesting that this card appears to support 2 drives. So in theory, you could connect a second drive and use this as both a hard card and a standard controller in your XT. Very interesting choice. I don't see why you couldn't necessarily do that. It does look like... Focus. Come on, focus. There you go. It does look like they offered a 10 megabyte version. But who knows? I'll probably never find a proper jumper setting for this card on its own. Why is this not focus ever? Come on. I'll probably never find a proper manual for this card to configure it, but the main thing is this beauty of a drive anyways. Hopefully it works or does something. And luckily, external power connector, so we'll just unplug it and power it that way. They appear to have put their own label over the NEC label. And of course, this one here on the top doesn't have the NEC branding like my other drive does. Something odd to me that I see on a lot of cards like this is that the 2 connectors are reversed. So the drive actually has the control connector on the left, data connector on the right, and I'll grab my other 3126 to show you this. And then they put them reverse direction on the card and then fold the cables over on the bottom. Why would you do that? Clearly they designed this card themselves. I mean, it's not like they used someone else's card, I don't think. So why wouldn't they just put them on their correct side for the drive they were going to use? Because apparently all of them use this drive. Who knows? And before we get too far, this is my actual, well, they're both my 3126s, but this is my NEC branded one with its original faceplate. So you can see that it is definitely a 3126. And again, you can see that the control connector is just reversed. I don't know why they do that. Well, this does move a little bit, so I don't think everything is C's. Let's try it. Yeah, sounds just like a 3126. Bearing's a little bit worn, but sounds like it's working great. I'm probably going to yank the drive off, and I'm probably going to keep the controller, but I don't know what I'll do with it. I don't have any use for 8-bit XT controllers like this.